Have you ever wondered if the spark in your relationship has faded over time, and if it's possible to reignite it no matter your age? In this heartwarming and eye-opening story, you'll discover the wisdom of Dona Clara, a wise elder whose advice not only saved a man's intimacy, but also strengthened the emotional bond with his wife. Whether you're facing relationship challenges, struggling with communication, or simply wanting to improve your health and well-being, this video will give you practical, life-changing tips. From the foods that can boost your vitality to the power of shared time and emotional connection, you'll learn key insights to nurture both your body and relationship. Watch until the end to uncover the secrets to reigniting passion, improving your overall health, and keeping your love strong even in the most difficult moments. This story will remind you that, with care and patience, even the toughest challenges can be overcome. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. Listen carefully, because what you're about to discover might transform your life forever. You will never experience erection problems again after hearing this story. Let yourself settle into a place where you can truly relax, where your mind and heart are open to every word that follows. Thank you, truly, for being a cherished member of our channel and for supporting us in ways that mean more than words can express. We are sending you all our love, wrapped in endless gratitude. In a humble, sun-drenched town, where the light of day tenderly kissed every rooftop and the gentle breeze whispered through the trees, lived a woman of remarkable wisdom, Dona Clara. Her hair, once a deep raven black, had turned into shimmering silver strands that reflected the light like the stars in a midnight sky. But it wasn't just her appearance that made her revered. No, it was her presence, her ability to offer solace and healing through her words and touch. People would say that her voice, soft yet unwavering, could soothe even the most tormented of hearts, her advice like a balm for the soul. One afternoon, as the golden sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting playful shadows on the cobblestone streets, an elderly man, Don Pedro, walked towards Dona Clara's modest home with the weight of a heavy burden pulling at his every step. His heart, once filled with joy and vitality, now carried a shame he could barely speak aloud. His hands trembled slightly as he knocked on the weathered wooden door, hoping for guidance that only she could provide. Dona Clara opened the door, her eyes filled with years of knowledge and kindness, immediately sensing the storm raging within Don Pedro. Without a word, she gestured for him to join her in the garden, a place where many had found refuge in moments of despair. The air was filled with the scent of jasmine, the wind softly rustling through the trees, creating a peaceful melody as they made their way to a familiar bench under a grand oak tree. Pedro hesitated as he sat down, his head bowed low, his heart racing with anxiety. With a voice thick with embarrassment and vulnerability, he finally began, "Dona Clara, I feel so ashamed. I don't even know how to put this into words." He paused, his voice trembling as he forced the words from his throat. "But lately, I've been having problems in the bedroom with my wife. I feel as though I've lost something that once made me feel alive, something essential to my manhood. And I don't know what to do. I feel like less of a man." Dona Clara, with her nurturing smile and the wisdom of decades in her heart, reached out and gently placed her hand on Pedro's, her touch warm and reassuring. She could see the pain in his eyes, the weight of his unspoken fears. "My dear Pedro," she began softly, "you are so brave for sharing this, for opening your heart when it's so easy to remain silent." Her voice was calm, each word a thread pulling Pedro's heart from the shadows. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The years, Pedro, they bring many changes. Some are obvious, like the wrinkles that grace our faces, and others are hidden, quietly affecting parts of ourselves we never thought would change. It's natural, my dear, for the body to react in ways that surprise us, to feel as though we've lost something precious. But, she said, pausing to meet his gaze with her deep, knowing eyes. What you are feeling right now, this fear of losing your vitality, your sense of manhood, it is not the end of your story. Pedro's shoulders, tense with the weight of his confession, slowly began to relax as he listened. The gentle rustle of leaves above them seemed to echo the soft rhythm of his heartbeat, as if nature itself was urging him to release his fear. Dona Clara continued, her voice filled with warmth and wisdom. Intimacy, my dear Pedro, goes beyond what we often believe. It is not confined to just a physical. True intimacy, the kind that binds souls together, is woven into every touch, every shared moment of laughter, every tear shed together, the spark between you and your wife, the love you've built over the years. That is what makes you a man, not the fleeting concerns of the body. Pedro, tears glistening in his eyes, looked up at Dona Clara, the weight of his shame slowly lifting. But how? How can I restore what feels broken? I feel as though I'm losing myself, and I don't know how to fix it. Dona Clara smiled gently, a twinkle of mischief in her eye. Pedro, sometimes the solution is simpler than we think. The body may change, but the heart and the spirit are eternal. What you need is to reignite the fire, to reconnect with the passion that once fueled your relationship. Start by speaking openly with your wife, without fear or embarrassment. Share your fears, your desires, and your vulnerabilities. That is where true strength lies, in the ability to be seen completely by the one you love. She leaned closer, her voice dropping to a whisper, as though sharing a great secret. And there are other ways to help your body, too. Natural remedies, like herbs, can restore balance. Have you tried ginseng? It is known to rekindle energy and strengthen the body. But remember, Pedro, the greatest remedy of all is the love you share with your wife. Nurture that, and you will find that everything else falls into place. As the afternoon sun dipped lower, casting a soft glow around them, Don Pedro felt a peace he hadn't known in years. His shame had transformed into hope, his fear into resolve. He stood up from the bench, his heart lighter, and looked at Dona Clara with deep gratitude. "Thank you," he said, his voice steady now. "You've given me more than just advice. You've given me the strength to face this." Dona Clara, with her soft smile, watched as Don Pedro walked away, his steps lighter, his spirit renewed. She knew that he would return to his wife, not only with renewed energy, with a deeper understanding of the love that had always been the true foundation of their relationship. The wind stirred the leaves once more, and as the day melted into dusk, Dona Clara whispered to herself, "The heart is a powerful healer, more than any herb or remedy. It is in love that we find the answers we seek." "But not all is lost," Dona Clara said, her voice steady yet filled with compassion. "There are still ways to nurture your body and rekindle that spark you feel has dimmed." She paused for a moment, her wise eyes locking on Don Pedro's, conveying both understanding and hope. "The first thing to remember is that diet is key. What we put into our bodies deeply affects how we feel and function. Certain foods can do wonders for your overall health and circulation, both of which are essential for regaining your vitality. You should make it a habit to include more fruits and vegetables, especially those packed with antioxidants like blueberries, spinach, and pomegranates. These can work wonders for your blood flow and energy levels." Pedro leaned in, hanging on every word as if each piece of advice was a lifeline. "Garlic," Dona Clara continued with a knowing smile, "although its smell may not be the most pleasant, is a powerful ally for your circulation. It's a humble ingredient but potent. And don't forget about nuts and fatty fish like salmon, rich in omega-3 fatty acids. They're incredible for heart health and circulation, which are vital to feeling like yourself again." Don Pedro nodded eagerly, committing each piece of advice to memory, feeling as though these simple acts could rebuild what he had lost. Dona Clara then shifted slightly, her gaze softening, yet her words remained firm. "But diet alone isn't enough, my dear. Movement is just as important. I'm not asking you to run marathons. Those days may be behind us, but regular, gentle exercise can breathe life back into your body. A daily walk in the fresh air, allowing your legs to move and your heart to strengthen, can do wonders. And don't underestimate the power of yoga. She smiled as Pedro raised an eyebrow in curiosity. Yes, yoga. It's not just for the young. Yoga will help you stretch, breathe, and reconnect not only with your body, but with your mind. And when the mind and body are in harmony, you will feel lighter and more capable. Stress, my dear Pedro, can do far more damage than you might imagine. It steals your energy, clouds your mind, and weakens your body. Learning to manage that stress through movement and mindfulness will restore much of what you feel has been lost. As Pedro listened, the weight that had once pressed on his chest felt lighter. It was as if with each word, Dona Clara was handing him a key, one by one, to unlock the doors of his well-being. The elderly woman paused, allowing the words to settle in, giving him the space to absorb her wisdom. Then, with the same calm authority she always had, she said, "But there's one more thing you must never forget, perhaps the most important of all: communication." Her words were gentle but firm, like a bridge leading him back to the heart of what truly matters. Talk to your wife, Pedro. Tell her your fears, your worries, and your hopes. Intimacy doesn't begin or end in the bedroom. True intimacy starts in the heart with openness, trust, and a deep emotional connection. It's the bond you share with her, the mutual understanding, and the support you give one another that will reignite the flame you think is fading. Together, you can overcome this. Pedro smiled for the first time in what felt like ages. A genuine smile that reached his eyes. He could feel the wisdom of Dona Clara seeping into his bones, bringing with it a renewed sense of purpose. "Thank you, Dona Clara," he said with deep gratitude, his voice steady and filled with hope. "I will follow your advice and make these changes. I won't give up. I will work every day to become better." Dona Clara nodded, her smile warm and encouraging, as if she had seen this transformation countless times before. "Remember, Pedro, healing takes time. Be patient with yourself. You are on a journey, and every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Take care of your body, nourish it with love and kindness. Be present with your wife, and cherish the emotional bond you have. When you do, you'll find that even the most difficult challenges can be overcome." Pedro stood up, feeling lighter, as if a great burden had been lifted from his soul. He left that day with a newfound sense of direction and a light in his eyes that had been missing for so long. As he walked back home, there was a quiet determination in his step. He knew that this was not just the start of a journey to restore his physical health, but a journey to reconnect with himself, with his wife, and with life itself. And so, Don Pedro began a new chapter, where the wisdom of an elderly woman, delivered with tenderness and love, helped him realize that with the right care and patience, no obstacle was insurmountable. It was at that moment he learned that what he feared he had lost forever was never truly gone. It was just waiting to be rediscovered, nurtured, and embraced with a renewed heart. As Dona Clara watched Don Pedro walk away, she felt a familiar warmth in her heart. A reminder that life, no matter our age, continually presents us with opportunities to learn, grow, and deepen our understanding of ourselves and those we love. Her thoughts drifted to her past, to the moments when she, too, had faced challenges. Not the physical kind, like Pedro's, but emotional struggles that tested her spirit. Her late husband, Don Rafael, had been her anchor through it all. The thought of him brought a bittersweet smile to her face, remembering the way his love had given her strength during their years together. With a deep breath, Dona Clara turned her gaze back to the present. "Hello, my dear ones," she whispered, her voice filled with affection. "I want to invite you all to be part of the Wise Grandmothers community. If you join us as a member, you can be part of our private WhatsApp group where we share stories, wisdom, and support with one another. It's a space for heartfelt conversations and valuable advice, where you can receive insights not only from me, but from the other members as well. We've even put together a special book called Active and Sexual Life for Men and Women, filled with guidance that I'm certain will be of great help to you. Thank you for your support. It means the world to me. Sending you all a kiss and my warmest wishes." As she spoke, her mind wandered back to those days with Raphael. Their shared moments of love and understanding, moments that had filled her life with purpose. Now, she hoped to share that wisdom with others, to pass along the lessons she had learned about love, connection, and the beauty of growing older together. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment too below to let me know that you are still here with me. A few days passed, and just as the sun began to set one quiet afternoon, Dona Clara heard a gentle knock at her door. She opened it to find Don Pedro standing there once again, but this time he wasn't alone. Standing beside him was his wife, Dona Margarita, a graceful woman whose silver hair framed her kind face, her eyes filled with both love and concern. It was clear that Pedro had shared his conversation with her, and now Margarita had come seeking her answers. Before Dona Clara could speak, Margarita took a small step forward, her voice soft but determined. "Dona Clara, Pedro has told me about the wise advice you gave him, and I've come to ask for your guidance as well. We want to learn together how to take care of our health and how to nurture our relationship as we grow older. Can you help us?" Dona Clara's heart swelled at the sight of the couple standing united before her. She opened the door wider and welcomed them inside her modest but warm home, where the comforting scent of fresh herbs filled the air. On the wooden table, 2 cups of steaming tea awaited them, the aroma of chamomile and mint rising softly in the room. "I'm so glad to see the two of you here together," Dona Clara said, her voice filled with affection. "It's a beautiful thing to witness. A couple who are willing to grow, to nurture their love even through life's challenges. True love is not something that simply survives the years. It must be cultivated, like a garden with care, patience, and commitment." Margarita smiled gently and reached for Pedro's hand, their fingers intertwining in a gesture of love and solidarity. "We realize how important it is to care for ourselves and each other," Margarita said, her eyes shining with determination. "We want to follow your advice, to learn how to take better care of our health, our bodies, and our hearts. We want to grow together, not just in age, but in love and understanding." Dona Clara smiled warmly as they sat down, the steam from the tea swirling gently between them, as if the warmth of the moment itself was tangible. "You've taken the first step, simply by coming here today, and that shows how strong your bond truly is," she said, her voice soothing yet full of the wisdom she had accumulated over the years. "Taking care of yourselves physically and emotionally is the foundation for a long and fulfilling life together. It's not about fixing what's broken. It's about nourishing what's already there, strengthening the love that has brought you this far." The couple nodded, eager to listen, to learn. "Let's start with the body," Dona Clara continued. "As I told Pedro, your diet is crucial. What you nourish your body with will reflect in how you feel and how your energy flows. Together, you can embrace healthy changes, more fruits, vegetables, and heart-healthy foods that promote circulation and vitality. Make your meals an act of love, not just for yourselves, but for each other. And don't forget to move, even if it's just walking together. Share those moments of quiet companionship." She paused, letting her words sink in before continuing. "But the heart, your emotional bond, is just as important, if not more. Talk to each other. Share your thoughts, your fears, your dreams. Intimacy is more than just a physical connection between two people. It's the trust, the shared moments of vulnerability, and the laughter that lightens even the darkest days." Margarita squeezed Pedro's hand gently, a quiet acknowledgement of the road ahead. They were ready, both of them, to embrace this new chapter of their lives. With Dona Clara's wisdom as their guide, they knew they could navigate the journey with grace and love, holding on to each other as they walked hand in hand through the years to come. And as Dona Clara watched them leave that day, her heart swelled with joy. She knew that the advice she had shared would not only help them care for their bodies, but would also deepen the bond they already shared, proving that love, like life, only grows stronger when tended to with care and devotion. Well, Dona Clara began, her voice warm yet full of conviction. In addition to everything I've already shared with Pedro, there's something vital that you both must remember. The power of shared time, routine as comforting as it can be, has a way of dulling the spark in any relationship if left unchecked. But the key to keeping that spark alive is to find activities you both enjoy. Things that make your hearts light up, that remind you of why you chose each other in the first place. Her eyes twinkled with enthusiasm as she leaned forward, her words brimming with passion. There are so many simple, beautiful ways to reconnect. Take walks together under the setting sun. Share a meal you've both prepared with love, or even dedicate time to learning something new. How about starting a small garden at home? You could cultivate your herbs and vegetables. Watching something grow under your care, nurturing it together, is not only rewarding but symbolic of the way love needs tending. Just imagine the two of you, side by side, watching life blossom in your hands. Pedro and Margarita exchanged a glance, their smiles mirroring the unspoken excitement of this newfound idea. The thought of creating something tangible together, a garden, a shared endeavor, felt like a breath of fresh air in their relationship, an opportunity to nourish not just the earth but their bond. And don't forget, Dona Clara continued, her tone softening, the immense power of the small things. A gentle touch, a kind word, a lingering hug. These seemingly simple gestures carry a profound impact. It's not just about the physical connection, but about maintaining the emotional bond between you. Listening, truly listening to one another, is one of the deepest forms of love. It says, I see you, I hear you, and I'm here for you. Those small moments of affection, they are the glue that holds love together, especially when words aren't enough. Margarita's eyes glistened as she nodded, her heart swelling with emotion. She looked at Pedro, her hand reaching for his, and in that brief exchange of touch, it was as if they silently promised each other to try, to reignite the fire that had always burned between them. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Dona Clara paused, her voice taking on a more serious tone as she added, But, my dear ones, also remember this. Patience and understanding are your greatest allies. There will be good days when love feels easy, and there will be days when it feels like everything is an uphill battle. But as long as you keep communicating, as long as you support each other and are willing to truly listen and understand, you will always find a way forward. That's the beauty of love. It's not about perfection but persistence, about holding on through the storms and savoring the sunshine when it returns. Margarita, unable to contain the tears welling up in her eyes, leaned closer to Dona Clara and gently took her hands. Thank you, Dona Clara, she said, her voice thick with emotion. Your words have given us a new perspective, a renewed sense of hope. We will do everything in our power to care for each other and our love, no matter what. Dona Clara smiled, her eyes filled with tenderness as she squeezed both their hands affectionately. Love, my dears, is the most precious gift we are given. It's worth every ounce of effort. Cherish it, nurture it, and protect it with all your hearts. Now go, enjoy this day together, and always remember, love is the most powerful medicine. With hearts full of gratitude and renewed hope, Pedro and Margarita bid farewell to Dona Clara, their spirits light, and their minds brimming with possibility. As they stepped outside and walked hand in hand toward the future, it felt as though they were embarking on a new journey, one filled with respect, communication, and unwavering commitment to keep their love alive. And so, with each step they took on life's winding path, Don Pedro and Dona Margarita rediscovered the magic of a love that, though tested by time, had never truly faded. It blossomed once again, much like the seeds they would soon plant together in their garden, growing stronger with each passing day, just as it had in the days of their youth. Through shared moments, tender gestures, and the wisdom of a kind-hearted woman, they found that love, when nurtured, never stops flourishing, no matter how much time has passed. As we come to the end of this beautiful story, we want to ask you, what have you learned so far? Think about the wisdom shared by Dona Clara and how love, patience, and shared time can transform relationships and personal growth at any age. We invite you to reflect and share in the comments below. What's one thing you've learned from this story that you will bring into practice in your own life? If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more stories and valuable life lessons. Your support means the world to us.